Welcome to Pics with Pops.
So the objective today is that. So I'm going to be using Canon's R50 entry-level camera with kit lens. Idea being to show you don't need top-of-the-range equipment, but rather give you a bit of know-how and knowledge on how to use it. So the setup. Tripod is a must. R50 18 to 45 kit lens. I'm going to show you the difference shutter speed makes to motion blur, moving of the water. Some cameras, like this Canon, has a TV, which is time value, instead of an S for shutter, but it's the same thing. It's the shutter that you use to control the time value. As you adjust shutter speed under correct exposure, if you increase shutter speed, you have to balance it with aperture. So as your shutter speed goes faster, your aperture needs to get bigger, open wider, smaller number. Opposite's true. We want to get motion blur in this waterfall. We want to get nice, smooth motion. So we're going to need a slow shutter, which means we need to stop down the aperture. The little hole that I'm seeing right down that lens at the moment, that's the aperture. So to stop that down, you can only stop it down so much. Also, if you go beyond, say, f11, what happens is you get softness. It's due to diffraction. You get diffraction, and diffraction limits the quality. It negatively affects image quality, and it makes your picture very soft. So try and limit it to f11. So you stop it down, but you still can't get a full second exposure. So that's where we use this. This is an ND filter. It's like a sunglass. Sunglasses for your lens. It holds back some of the light. It's very overcast today, threatening rain, so it's actually nice conditions. So this is a variable ND filter. You get set ones, ND2, ND4, ND8, each being a different stop. This one is variable, so I can actually adjust it. But even in these darkened conditions, we're still going to use it. Another addition, seeing as Canon don't supply lens hoods with the non-L series lenses, there's a cheap rubber pop-out lens hood. What this does is it keeps flare off the front of the lens, especially because we're going to have a long exposure. Oh, nice. So this just screws into the front of the lens hood. What I'm actually doing here is setting up, and I lost my mic, setting up the laptop to record what's on my camera. So when I talk you through it, you can actually see what the settings are on the camera. The things I do, the lens I will go to. Eventually got that connected. So what we're looking at here, problem now is with Canon, or the R50 at least, we can't have HDMI output at the same time as the screen. So I'm just going to pop this off quick there. Just want to set my horizon here, because that's very tilted. Got a bridle part in the way, but that's fine. That's not the point of this. Actually, I'm going to use this to my advantage. What I'm going to do is, for a later video, show you how to remove people out of scenes. Take multiple exposures, it has to be on a tripod, and stack them and cut out the part you don't want to see. We'll get some shots here for our next video. But for now, back to this. So we'll see, I've set it to half a second. I'm sitting at aperture of 7.1 without the ND filter. My aperture it wouldn't go small enough, even in this relatively dim light. So I actually want on f8, half a second, perfect. So ideally at this stage, what we'd do is we'd either set a 2-second timer or use the remote being your cell phone. You can actually connect to your cell phone. And the reason for that, you don't want your camera moving around. Because you want a slow exposure, you want everything to stand still, except the water. Okay, there we have a half-second exposure. We'll do a full second now. F11, half second is F8, full second F11, makes sense. Each is one stop. I like the 1 second, I think it looks nice. Okay, let's go to 1:15. See, I've got a maximum aperture of 6.3 at this focal length. So let me open the ND up a bit. Open the ND up a bit more. Okay, it's moaning, it's not too dark. The idea here is to show the effect that shutter has. So slow shutter, you see the camera compensates for changing the aperture. Now I want to have a faster shutter to freeze the action, but I can't because that's my maximum aperture, 6.3. So what I need to do now, considering exposure triangle, is I need to increase my ISO. So let's take my ISO up 2 stops. Let's make it 3 stops. Now we're setting f14, 1/30. I can go a little bit faster. Got a 1/160. Okay, because it's quite dim today, set the ISO higher to get a faster shutter.
And here we lost audio, my apologies for that. So what I did here was I set my ISO to 6400 to facilitate a faster shutter speed. Managed to get a shutter speed of 1/640. The similarity in the numbers is just purely coincidental. 1/640 has got nothing to do with 6400 ISO. And so that's a 1/640 pic. Let's compare the shutter speeds, the fast shutter speed, 1/640 with 1 second. See the detail in the water in the 1/640. You can actually see the little drops, whereas in the 1 second exposure it's very soft and smooth. You can see the movement, not the actual drops. That's the difference shutter speed makes to motion in a picture.
Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.